Welcome back to the MLG Winter Championships. We're here in Columbus, Ohio. We've got Huk versus Violet coming up next. Are you guys excited out there in the crowd for this match? Oh, come on. You can do better than that. Let's try one more time. Are you excited for Huk versus Violet? There we go. What's up, guys? I'm JP McDaniel, joined right now by Rob Simpson. Rob, how's it going?
Going extremely well. We actually just got to watch Violet play his first game against Rhett, and he is on fire right now.
Yep.
Now, Huk, on the other hand, has also just played against Sokka, and he's also 1-0 in the group as well.
Yeah, so both players 1-0, and both players are actually feeling very, very confident in this group. You know, Huk was pretty public about his confidence in this group. Violet actually kind of kept it to himself, but Wani, the translator here at MLG, actually let me know that he feels that he has the easiest group at MLG. So both players very, very confident in this group, and I'm so excited to see who's going to take this match.
Yeah, so let's actually take a look at the first player. Let's talk about Huk for a minute. He had such a strong 2011 up through about Orlando, and then we just haven't seen too much out of him. He needs to make something happen at this event to continue building that amazing reputation of his.
Yeah, we can see Huk right there. And he is, of course, just a very, very skilled PvZ strategist and very well known in the Korean community. Most Koreans actually believe that foreigners are just so good at this matchup. You see right there his win rates and also his accomplishments. Just a huge, huge accomplishment list for Huk.
And now we can see that everything that he accomplished really just climbed all the way up through MLG Orlando. Now, I'm expecting a lot out of Huk here. What do you think about this?
I mean, we'll see. The thing that, as we move on to Violet's player card, Violet is one of these like rising stars of StarCraft 2, and I say rising, but he's just been playing so well for so long, winning so many of these online tournaments, and now he's really starting to make a name for himself at some of these LAN events. We saw him win the MLG European online qualifiers for the MLG Winter Arena, beating Red in that, and he's just really continued to have such great success. So we will see here. What do you think about Violet and his play?
I mean, Violet's ZVP in general is just monstrous. We have seen him time and time again just outperform everybody else in the field. And here we even have, I mean, 4 first places in a row. Yeah. This is huge. And even the games that he played against Rhett most recently, while that was a ZVZ, the only game that he lost was because he tried a mind game and it just didn't happen. The next 2 games after that were so convincing, he could totally shut this one out.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what Violet really has in store for us. If you guys didn't catch that match, actually, in Game 1, he just played some very weird mind games, going for a 7-roach rush and then kind of doing a circle in the middle of the map and not going for that attack. And Red kind of smelled that and scouted that. And he basically said, okay, I'm just going to kill you now, and that ended Game 1. So very excited for this match. I actually think Day9 and DJ Weed are over on the other desk. What do you guys think about this upcoming match?
I am super excited for the chance to see Huk's new PvZ. I mean, he's always kind of had that shakiness where a lot of times he would go for like a 7-gate opening, do an attack, it wouldn't work, and there'd be a 0 chance of him, you know, coming back for that win. But the big storyline for all of 2011 is that he's turning those aggressive styles into good follow-ups as well. And, I mean, if he plays anything like he did at Winter Arena, plus a little more, he's, I think, the surefire favorite.
Yeah, I also did a little bit of research, and there's actually no documented games between these two on the TLPD. So, you know, this kind of like unknown results. I mean, for both players, that can kind of be one of those shaky things. It's like, I've never played this player before. I'm very aware. I've watched 1,000 of their games. I'm very aware of their style, but you still have to go up against it. So I think we're in for a good treat, but I'm hoping it's not any sort of a trounce on either way.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, given the fact that Violet is a very aggressive player, I think that definitely plays to Huk's strength. So unlike my silly equivocation in the last game, I think Huk is the clear favorite for this match.
All right. Well, we'll have to see if that holds true. We do have some other results for you guys actually coming in from the MLG SC2 Scores Twitter account. Follow that, guys, for updates all weekend long. Looks like HeyPro was able to take a win over DeMuslim earlier in Pool B, and Oz actually ended up beating Grubby in Pool D. So kind of normal, I guess, games there. HeyPro beating DeMuslim, I would definitely say is an upset.
Right, that was definitely the more surprising one out of both of those games. Now, Oz versus Grubby. Grubby was clearly going to have a difficult time going into that game regardless. But on the other hand, man, HeyPro, we talked about just how much potential that he could have had going into the MLG Winter Arena, and now he is out to prove us all right/wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. This is just such a tournament where everyone is trying to prove so much about themselves, and You mentioned Huck, of course, winning Orlando last year. Since then, he's been kind of quiet when it comes to tournaments. We saw him at the MLG Winter Arena getting 3rd place there. He really hasn't eclipsed anything past that, though. But as we look at the map, guys, it looks like it's going to be MLG Daybreak. Weed and Day 9, what do you guys think about that map as the first map?
I honestly think that on an average day, I would say, yeah, totally Protoss. I mean, Protosses love the fact that they can secure that 3rd, play comfortably, and really the biggest Achilles heel to all Zergs has been that 17-minute maxed Colossus push that's so easily doable on this map. However, Huck is known to be aggressive, and Violet is known to have the full range of answers from start game to end game.
The thing that I love about this map is for Protoss, of course, the ability to hide pylons in very, very key locations and attack 3rds and 4ths when you'd least expect it. But then also from a Zerg perspective, the numerous routes for really fast counterattacks or just getting a good flank or maybe a great angle with Zerglings while the rest of your attacking forces going forward. So, you know, either way, I can't say that there's one clear advantage, but it depends on if Huck wants to, you know, maybe be a little bit sneaky, maybe be a little bit aggressive with those forward pylons, or I mean, we know Violet's going to be aggressive, so we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Of course, guys, remember to tweet at us and send a poll as well, or send a text to that number. Let us know if you think Huck or Violet is going to take this for the Xperia Sony smartphone poll. Who do you think is actually going to take it, Rob? Let's get some predictions going
now
here.
I have massively mixed feelings now, because the first thing that I heard from Sean was that he was feeling so confident that Huck was going to take this, but now Huck on this map, it sounds like maybe Violet's going to take this. I don't know what's going to happen, JP.
I don't know. We got to get a winner, though. Who's going to win?
I got my money on Violet.
All right, I'm going to have to go with Violet. Weed and Day 9, who are you guys choosing?
Huck, 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 Huck.
I'm going to go with Huck as
well.
well.
Was that both of them?
All right.
Oh, dear. Gosh darn it.
All right,
I take it off, get my jetpack out of here.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to go fight them after. You own a jetpack, by the way? How much did that set
Don't
you
you,
back?
JP?
I mean,
I don't have a jetpack, no.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Wait, so JP doesn't have a jet. So the 3 of you can go ahead and take that, and I'll be the odd man out on betting who wins. You're going to be out of the jetpack club.
I guess so. I guess that is true. So it looks like we're still waiting, I think, for Violet to join the lobby. But, you know, if we look at Pool C, we've got Huck, Violet, Rhett, and Zaka. Sean and what do you guys think about that pool? Both players were saying they were very confident having the easiest pool here at MLG Winter Championships. What do you guys think about that pool?
Well, I got to be honest. I think that the one player that people aren't giving enough credit is going to be Rhett. Violet, I think, is in a much more comfortable position to say, I have the easy group, because he did manage to get that win over Rhett. That was both going to be the shaky matchup for the 2 of them. I think the bigger question is, who will be able to take on Rhett? Sokka, Huck, can they both take him out? Rhett still has a strong chance at taking a win in the group.
And how about you, Marcus? What's going on in this group in your head?
I mean, the group already starts off really interesting, of course, with the win, Violet to 2-1ing Rhett. And I mean, I think as we move forward here, I really have to see what kind of a condition that Zake is actually in. I mean, yes, he lost his first matchup to Huck. It's a PvP where Huck is actually going to be very, very, you know, I mean, he's going to be very, very comfortable in that. So, I mean, I have a feeling that we could see some weird tying happen in this group. Just, I could see, you know, one side beating one player and then another player beating, and just it really kind of get mixed up here. So I think this, I've heard people say easy. I think it's just going to be the most, you know, most difficult to get out of, really.
Well, in a group where everybody's even, that's generally going to be the big difficulty. Now it's actually looking like the players are almost ready, so this is going to be Huck versus Violet, where you're getting the final okay on it. Oh, yes. Are you guys ready for some Huck versus Violet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're just waiting for Violet to confirm here. Then we'll go ahead and get this match started in just a couple seconds, though. You know, players are so careful about making sure that everything feels normal to them, because in a tournament environment like this, if one thing is off, it can really just throw your entire game off. But guys, the countdown has started. We are now loading into the game here. MLG Daybreak, Huck versus Violet, game 1. And Rob, you actually said that Violet was going to take it. I said Violet was going to take it.
You also said Violet was going to take it?
Yeah, man.
So we're on the same team?
Yes.
So we're against Wheat and Day 9.
We are. We get to fight them after this as well.
Oh, man. Maybe I'd win in a fist fight, but not in a casting fight, man.
Maybe so. Maybe so. All right, Rob, who do we have over here in the bottom left-hand corner?
Down here in the lower left-hand corner, playing for Team Evil Geniuses as the Red Protoss, we have Huck. And his opponent all the way up in the upper right-hand corner of the map, representing Team Empire. Let's hear it for Violet.
Seems like Huck is the clear crowd favorite here at the MLG Winter Championships. And you know, on a map like Daybreak, we'll really just see kind of a slow start to the game, I really feel. We see Huck actually going for the Forge Fast Expand right away. Pretty much what you're going to see almost every time in this matchup. And Violet, you know, I expect him to just go for that 3-hatch opening. But he is one of the Zerg players that sometimes will just do some crazy, crazy things that not even the casters or his opponent can really predict.
Right. I mean, when we watched him play in that previous series, he went for that strange variation on a 7-roach rush, and there was no way that anybody could have seen that happening. And then he actually feigned it and, like, hid all of his stuff.
Yeah. He is a unique player for sure, and he definitely has the practice methods to just do so many different things. You know, he plays in so many of those online tournaments and wins so many of them that he's playing some, not MLG tournament level players, like no Hucks or anything like that, but they're good nonetheless, so he can practice strategies pretty much any time that he wants. And there's the 15 pool going down, so we most likely will see that 3-hatch opening from Violet.
Yeah, and over on Huck's side, he is still just saving up all of those minerals, just waiting to have enough to get down there. And he's going to be going Nexus first with this FFE.
Yeah, and there's the probe going out, and we should be seeing that in just a couple seconds. So we'll really, I want to see what Violet's going to be doing here in terms of unit composition and things like that. You know, there's so many different things that you can do in this matchup, and we've just mentioned so many times that he's just so kind of unpredictable in what he will go for. So here comes the hatch now over at his natural. And we should soon see the 3rd hatch in just a couple of minutes as well.
Oh, yes, Huck loves you.
There's the heart in good old Huck fashion.
Yeah, the good old Huck heart. And now he's continuing to just get up there and continuing to scout. He's obviously going to see exactly what Violet's up to. The question is whether or not Violet's going to get out there and go for that immediate 3rd. Now back over at Huck, he is just about wrapped up that first forge and has now kicked off the first cannon.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. I mean, this map really makes this matchup very slow to start with. We just see Huck's going to get his expansion up, and then we'll start to see the tech unfold and really what he's going to be working with there. Violet does have some lings out, 2 out right now, 2 more about to pop here. Has not started his 3rd hatchery yet, but I would expect it around 30 supply.
And Violet was over there. He did get information about Huck's FFE, so the cat is out of the bag in that case. And now Huck is just moving around. I just want to see Huck do sneaky things, because that was what really captivated everybody initially when Huck got right. so loved so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most historic moments here at MLG was the that "Don't Worry, That's Halo" moment, which was the mothership and everything like that. So. Pretty crazy event all the way back then. I can't believe it's already been a year since that event.
Isn't that crazy? Now, Sean also talked a little bit about how Huck has really just been trying to even out his play a lot. So maybe he's going to be stepping further and further away from all of those crazy tactics he previously did.
Yeah, we will soon see. So now it's a count, or as we look at this game, we're really going to check out the drone count of Violet and see how far he wants to go up. Probably would expect him to stop around 60, but we always, or Sean and we were talking about how Huck just plays so aggressive, sorry, that we might just see him try to put a stop to that. And most of the conflict we will see in this match will probably be around the 3rd base of Violet.
Now, Violet has a few lings. They had just moved out and poked for a split second at Huck's door. Of course, the cannon only got off a single shot before he retreated. Now, Violet over there, man, he is droning up.
Yeah, and he's already adding on his 2 extractors, 1 at the main, 1 at the natural. And meanwhile, Huck already getting that +1 upgrade. It does help so much with the Zealots against the Lings, making them 2 shots instead of 3. And still no tech just yet. We'll have to see if he's going to be adding on a ton of gateways or going for something like a Stargate.
That's right. Now over here, Violet's 3rd is just about to wrap up, and now Huck is trying to get over here for some more crucial information. He does have a rally point set down to there, but will the probe even live long enough to make it there? It's looking like the Queen is going to be able to chase it down and possibly stop it. Oh, will it be able to get away? Yes, no. Just kidding. All of the Zerglings kill it.
And he did get in and see pretty much kind of what he wanted there. Even though it was taken out. And here come the 3 O's going for a 7 gate here.
This is a really massive surround. He actually just got out there and killed off that stalker. Now Huck, I mean, uncharacteristically from what we expected, he is now going for one of those big 7 gate pushes.
Yeah.
8 gates.
Yeah, he's going for a huge 8 gate push here. And let's check. Ooh, here's actually the forward pylon down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and yet another one as well coming out for EGHuk. And if we take a look at the drone count, already up to 44. The Roach Warren has been put down. A ton of pylons coming out here for EGHuk.
Yeah, EGHuk wants to make sure that even if Violet gets in there and kills one of those pylons, he can continue his aggression. And now we have, potentially, nope, that Overlord is not going to get picked off. The Lings get there just in time, and now EGHuk is just about ready to start this massive push. Now, Violet really hasn't been producing a lot of units to try to stop this. His Roach Warren is about to wrap up, but I'm not sure that the Roaches will be out in time to stop this. He gets in with the Overlord and sees it right before the push begins.
Yeah, so he knows what's coming in. Look at the production tab right now. 5 Roaches already started, but he's currently supply capped at 78, and that is not going to be good here as a huge warpin comes in, and the Zealots are starting to focus down that hatchery, and it most assuredly should fall here, Rob.
Oh man, and those +1 Zealots are just tearing through all of the Zerg forces. He's getting in with yet another warpin, tearing down those Lings one by one. Now the Overlord has wrapped up, so he does currently have a little bit of room for supply, but it just might not be enough before these Zealots are able to finish off the hatchery. You can see him controlling very well with all of those Zealots, only keeping just the amount of Zealots that he needs to kill it, and down goes the third.
Yep, third is going to fall there, and I said that was going to be the main source of conflict, but this might just be GG there, as now the economy is going to be even here between Violet and EGHuk, and with that even economy, Protoss usually comes out on top. So we'll have to see if EGHuk pushes forward here. We see 3 more sentries being warped in, 4 more sentries being warped in, excuse me, and he's going straight for this natural now.
Right, and with that push, this could potentially trigger Violet into a really big all-in. It could mean that all that he's going to build is as many units as possible, and if he's able to wipe out this huge force from EGHuk, he could potentially just push across the map and finish him off, because EGHuk is not going to have the resources necessary to maintain the 7-gate push, although there are just so many units out in front of Violet's base. We see all of the Stalkers just crushing the remaining Roaches. There is a round of 9 Roaches about to come in, but is it going to save him?
I'm not sure. EGHuk actually is falling back here, and you can see his army actually switching here from that heavy Zealot into heavy Stalker, and that of course is the deal with these Roaches. And with that +1 upgrade, it's really going to be such a beneficial upgrade to have here, as he's just playing so aggressive now. 77 supply, 290. And you know, even with EGHuk falling back right here, it's not the biggest deal, because he's just economically going to be even with Violet right now, and he needs that extra minerals. There's some force fields being dropped. It looks like that is all the energy EGHuk possesses, though, so he's not going to be able to wall off enough Roaches, but Violet is still losing a lot of forces there with the range of those Stalkers.
Now, Violet is just trying to buy enough time for those Spine Crawlers to finish. Essentially, what Violet wants to happen here is that he just needs to stop this aggression from EGHuk, but EGHuk has been responding beautifully. He's adding on 2 additional assembly. He's also continued pro production as well.
Yeah, and it looks like EGHuk actually is just going to fall back right now. Not at all surprised there. Basically, he's going to force Violet to really try and expand here. You can actually see he's in the red, 92 of 84, losing some Overlords over there in the main. EGHuk will be losing these forward pylons. You see Burrow started as well as +1 range attack, so Violet is going to try to get tricky with EGHuk as the third goes down, but he's got to be careful, because here's the forces. Oh, and the force field's going down behind the Roaches, splitting the army, and that is not good for Violet.
Oh man, and now Violet getting caught completely off guard, just losing his units, and now they have so far to run. The Roaches don't have speed, but they do barely make it back to the creep. He has just lost a large chunk of his force, and now he's trying to reestablish his third, but he just doesn't have the forces to defend it.
Do have a robotics facility just now finished. Will he pop out the Observer first? Yes, he will indeed. Now we're going to see if he's going to be going down for some Immortals or go for that Colossus tech. Meanwhile, there's the burrowed Roach movement started for Violet, and we actually see a third base started here for EGHuk.
Oh man, unfortunately enough for Violet, his speed did just wrap up, so maybe now he'll be able to defend a little more efficiently. Now EGHuk is pretty much stopped with the aggression, right? Just as you said, that third has gone down in the Nexus, and now EGHuk is kind of switching over to a little bit of Immortal production as well, so Violet's going to be free to retake and resaturate and build up his economy once again.
Yeah, if EGHuk gets enough Immortals out, you know, only 2 or 3 can really add so much to an army when dealing with only Roaches from your opponent. And looks like we actually see Violet is going out on the map. I think he wants to try to focus down on this third base of EGHuk, but there are 3 cannons being warped in, and the army is also split as well with the sentries here at the main, or excuse me, at the natural. Violet a little bit kind of undecided on where he wants to go, now committing over here to the third base.
So as Violet moves out with all of these Roaches, we see that behind that he has continued to drone very hard. He's also taken that 4th base, and now he's going to be pushed back, but all he needs to do is trick EGHuk into not pushing out on the map. He just needs to make sure that he's able to secure his 4th. Now, unfortunately for him, that pylon is placed, so EGHuk is going to know everything that's going on.
Yeah, and we also see this observer right over the roaches here, burrowed over at the third base of HUK. So as soon as they start moving, HUK is going to know and possibly take them out, and he's actually going to unburrow them and probably just fall back. Still hasn't used this forward pylon over at the fourth base, though, of Violet just yet. Probably wants to wait for that hatchery to get closer to being finished.
Right, he wants to make sure that it's at an area where Violet is not going to be able to cancel it. He wants to punish him when he least expected. Now we see the Immortal getting into play, attacking a lot of... Oh, but the force fields go down, but it's not looking like the majority of HUK's army can really get into this fight, and now Violet's able to burrow and move back.
That was such a smart decision there from Violet. You know, he's a little bit wary of committing to that attack, but he saw only one Immortal and almost all of the sentries of HUK. The rest of the Stalkers weren't anywhere near, so he got in, took out 3 of those sentries, did a little bit of damage to that Immortal, and then fell back without losing too many forces with that burrowed roach movement.
Right, essentially, Violet just needs to continue buying time this portion of the game, but now down at the fourth base, HUK is making use of that forward pylon. He's warping in some Zealots. They did already get a few kills, but I'm not sure that they're going to be able to take down this hatchery. We see just so many roaches coming in. He also has additional roaches coming to defend it. Can HUK kill another hatchery?
Looks like he is staggering somewhat to take care of those lings, and now he's going towards the roach. He's got the hatchery to half HP. We have some infestors popping out, as well as some Colossus here for HUK. And once you get on this 3-base, you know, Sean had mentioned this 3-base 17-minute push. It's kind of the Protoss death ball, and that's looking like what HUK's going to go for. Right,
but right now, Violet has a very sufficient window of opportunity to potentially take this game. He has such a massive supply lead. It's 196 to 133. The question is he going to capitalize on it?
Well, if you look right now, there's so many units from Violet just streaming across the map, already at 196 of 200. And where are those infestors actually at? It looks like they are back just sitting over near the third of Violet at the moment. And actually the observer tracking half of the roaches here for Violet. And HUK actually moving out for 1 second, but falling back in. At the same time, he's got to be a little bit worried over here at the third base, but there are enough cannons to be able to kind of survive for a while before the army gets there.
And now this is a pretty large push, and now HUK is kind of caught in the middle of the map, not sure exactly where to go. Is he going to be able to stop the remaining forces? Yes, he kept his forces in a really smart spot there, laying down some force fields and making sure to split up Violet's army. But Violet's aggression has continued up at HUK's third. He's pretty much only killed cannons, though.
And that was a smart play from HUK, trying to kind of corner the forces that he sent over, that Violet sent over to the third base. But at the same time, like you said, Violet did push out. And now he's got to see these infestors here. But with those Colossus, how many does he actually have? Only 1 right now. And he's moving forward here. Some fungals going down the roaches. Moving forward as well. The Colossus falls, and the rest of the army should fall as well.
Man, that was a huge focus fire onto that Colossus. He really caught HUK just so far out of position. And now Violet just about has his hive finished. He's also working on his Spire as well, so we're going to see Broodlords as the game continues for long enough. And now Violet continuing to control his roaches just so well up at that third, and now moving a mass around the rest of HUK's units. HUK is just not able to be everywhere on the map as Violet is.
Yeah, you know, we were so confident in HUK's ability there after he took out the third, and we really didn't think that Violet was going to be able to do this, but he's playing so well now. 177 supply to 113. That Greater Spire started. 9 Corruptors coming out here. Looks like a Colossus tech is still coming from HUK here. +2 already finished, but once that Greater Spire finishes, we will most definitely see Broodlords, as well as some dead Colossus with all those Corruptors.
Right, and so HUK didn't completely walk away without getting something from that exchange. He did take out Violet's fourth, and now it's currently in the process of being remade, but Violet is just at a position where he just needs to wait right now. His Corruptors are just about finished. The Greater Spire only has 40-ish seconds left to go, and then he's going to have that oh-so-desired Broodlord army.
Yeah, you can see him already starting to save the economy. There are 1,300 minerals and almost 1,000 gas, and HUK actually is going to move out and take this fourth base of him. He does have less minerals at this base, but it is that rich Vespene geyser as well. So we actually see a handful of roaches here trying to sneak in. They're not going to really have any success and fall very quickly to those Colossus, but he does not have the observer there. And, actually, he's going to go back into the natural. We'll see where that observer is in just a couple seconds. Yep. He unburrows for some reason.
Well, that was a great use of all of his roaches because he was just trying to free up a lot of supply because the Broodlord morphing has begun. We see 9 Broodlords coming into play, and now EmpireViolet is going to be moving across the map, eliminating those rocks so that he has a very nice entry to surround HUK.
3 Colossus here for HUK. That Destructible Debris is about to fall from those roaches. The Broodlords are finished, and they're going to start moving across the map. These 4 infestors are going to be so pivotal with those fungal growths to make sure that the Broodlords can connect, and here we go, Rob.
Right. As long as Violet is able to keep those Stalkers off of his Broodlords, and if Violet's able to get in and finish off the Colossus, I mean, Huk is just going to have such a difficult time defending this.
At the same time, Huk did warp in 7 Zealots down in the south, and he's going straight towards the 4th base of Violet. But here comes the attack of Violet now at Huk's base. He's moving forward with the Roaches, catching some of the Colossus kind of off guard. The other 2 are up north, though.
Oh man, and he is just caught just too far out of position. Now he's trying to blink forward and take out as many of those Broodlords as he can, but when you have an equal number of Broodlords to Stalkers, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, and just completely resupplying. They're already back up to 200 supply. 22 Roaches on the way. Looks like those Zealots were taken out over at the 4th base of Island. He just continues to trample this army of Huk. He moves forward with the Roaches. The Broodlords are right behind, cleaning up everything as well.
Yeah, Violet this entire game has just done a good job keeping Huk's army split and being sure to attack 2 places at once. I mean, that's really all that it's about. If you can force Huk to put his units in awkward places, it's just going to pull through, and there's the GG. Violet takes game 1.
And you can see right here, Violet very, very satisfied with that win, but Huk actually put his head in his hands. He's got to be a little bit frustrated there after taking out that 3rd so early on and not actually pushing it anymore and falling back. So impressive there for Violet.
Right, and he even followed up, taking out the 4th base repeatedly. It was just unfortunate. Violet played so well overall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back with Game 2 right after a short break. I'm Rob Simpson.
I'm JP McDaniel. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 between Huk and Violet coming up right after this.